Okay, we're broadcasting. And we
All
got some
right.
participants joining.
Welcome, everybody. We're just going to hang on for a couple minutes here, let the rest of the registrants log in, and we'll get rolling. Hope everybody's week is going well. I'm based here in San Diego, and we had a pretty crazy windstorm last couple of days. It was not enjoyable. Been here almost 10 years and have never felt the wind like it was here, but I guess I should not complain being in San Diego. I'm sure some of you are in much colder places, but. And Alex, well, actually I can't see participants, never mind. Give everybody a couple minutes and we'll get rolling.
Yeah, I'd say 30 more seconds or so.
Got it. All right, well, we'll just dig into it here. I'm sure a lot more people will join as we work through it, but got a great group, about 50 or so in here, so that's fantastic. Well, cool. I appreciate everybody hopping on. My name is Luke Safinos. I'm the founder and CEO here at CourseKey, and I'm excited to kind of run through with you all today our career education platform, and really the first announcement of our career education platform, and what it means for the sector and the industry, a lot of the things that we're seeing, and how we're really trying to lead the charge and offer a solution that can be of great benefit to a lot of people. So let's dive into it. So the plan today is really start out with asking the question of what is a platform, right? And what does that actually entail? And more importantly, what does that actually mean to me in my institution? The other piece that we want to cover is just looking generally at career education in the space today. Who are the players in it? What are all the different tools and solutions that we may be using or may not be using? And really just taking kind of a step back in evaluating systems and software and processes and other pieces that really affect our students at the end of the day and drive the experience that they have. We're all pushing for a fantastic student experience, but we got to make sure that our systems and our tools are in a place that we can really deliver on that, right? I mentioned the how does it affect me, and then finally we'll end on the path forward. So just different kind of tips, tools, tricks, different things to look at to really help your school thrive in this new, post-COVID blended hybrid, kind of learning model that so many of us are adopting. So we'll go kind of heavy into that topic. So real quickly, before I dive in, I just want to give a quick introduction, quick background into CourseKey. So, at the most simple level, what we are is we're an education technology company that powers vocational education providers. So we work with, hundreds of career schools across the US. We work with schools that do anything from cosmetology training to electricians, mechanics, plumbers, nurses, dental assistants, phlebotomists, pilots, you name it, all sorts of different skill sets in trades and occupations that folks are training people in. So we feel fortunate to support them, and we support them through a variety of technology offerings that can really help kind of up-level their school. One thing that's very unique about us in relation to other schools within this, or excuse me, other businesses within the sector, is we're actually backed by a significant amount of venture capital. We're backed by almost $20 million in venture capital. And why that's actually important to you is that we're really the only company that's backed with significant amount of private funding. And what that means is we can offer a level of support and a level of technology that's really not commonplace in our sector. Most companies are very small. They have a couple folks on staff. They're bootstrapped in a sense where the founders kind of been bankrolling the company, and they can only grow at a certain clip. So we're in a different side of that, where we're really trying to grow as fast as we can and build features and capabilities as fast as we can that our customers are asking us to build. So all of our partners have not a huge voice, have the voice in our product roadmap and help us kind of steer the ship forward. So the whole announcement of the platform today is really a testament to what our current clients have asked us to do and asked us for. So you'll hear a lot about that as we work forward here. I should say a couple quick housekeeping items too, and then we'll dive in. If you have questions, if you have comments, anything, throw it in the chat. We encourage you to do so. I'm happy to stop and ask them kind of as we work forward. I'll be monitoring that throughout. And so will our marketing team here that's on the call. I'll take some Q&A at the end as well. So we'll save up a few questions to dig in, but please fire them off if you have them. I'm here to answer and help support anything that may pop into your mind. So don't hesitate. All right, so we'll get rolling. So the first question that I want to bring up is, what is a platform? And I get this question a lot. And a platform is very different from applications that you're likely using at your schools today, okay? So Microsoft Office is a platform, right? And basically, it's a platform that encompasses a lot of different applications and tools, right? So underneath Office, you have your mail app, you have your presentation app, your PowerPoint, right? You have Word, right? Your document application, and then you have Excel, right? Your spreadsheet application. And I'm only listing 5 here, but there's a ton of different applications that kind of sit under that platform, okay? Another real world example is your iPhone or your Android device, right? So the platform is the actual operating system itself. So it's the piece that connects everything, that enables you to access all these different applications, a world of applications through one singular point, right? And when you enter that operating system, you can then access all sorts of different things. You can access apps that are created by Apple, right? Like their calculator app or their camera app or their alarm clock app that I'm sure a lot of us use. And you can access apps that are not created by Apple, that are created by this whole ecosystem that they've built. Things like Uber, things like Instagram, things like Airbnb, right? So the platform is iOS, which is the operating system that enables basically a channel, a singular place of entry to then go and explore a whole ecosystem. Just like Microsoft I mentioned earlier, you have kind of one single point, Microsoft, and then you have all these different applications that you can go and access. Google is another example of a platform, right? So Google offers third-party applications and singular applications that they build. So these are all the ones that they build here. So through Google, you can access mail, slides, sheets, calendars, Google Forms, right? All these different things. So I wanted to just start off with the definition of a platform so you can really understand kind of where Korsky is driving within the marketplace. There's a very distinct difference between a platform and an app. An app would be Google Calendar. The platform would be Google Suite. An app in the iPhone example would be Uber, right? The platform would be the operating system, iOS, that you access that device from. So 2 very different things. Unfortunately, in career education, there actually is no platform today. There's just singular applications, right? You have your campus management application. You have your learning management system application, Blackboard, Canvas, Moodle, D2L, whatever it is, Google Classroom, right? You have a bunch of other different technologies potentially that are just applications. There's no one singular entry point to access everything and to house everything in kind of one distinct place. So the unfortunate reality is, and I briefly covered this, but I enjoy the visual, and I hope you will too. But this is how so many of our organizations and schools are set up today, and it's by no fault. It's just really the only option. So most schools have this student information system, right? And that's one big system that they have and they leverage. They then have their learning management system, right? I mentioned that. They likely have a CRM, right? That's helping do outbound and outreach to potential students to get them to enroll in their institution. They have financial aid software. Sometimes this is part of the SIS, the Student Information System. Sometimes it's not. But they have their own kind of application that's working through financial aid and helping process this, right? And grab money from the government to help fund education of a lot of their students. They have a digital signature technology, right? So a lot of us use DocuSign. I met with a school the other day that's paying DocuSign $1 million a year. I was blown away. I couldn't believe that. But they need digital signature for students who come in and do their enrollment papers, right? They likely could have a texting service. So TextAim comes to mind. It's a big software provider that a lot of career schools use. Something that can enable their school to push out notifications and messages to all their students, whether there's a snow day or some sort of update, right? That a class schedule is changing, whatever it may be. They might be using a texting service. There's career readiness tools where you can actually go in and students can learn different skills, interviewing skills, resume building skills, right? Things that are not necessarily in their curriculum for their specific trade that they're learning, but things for kind of the process of actually getting into a job and the other details that go with that. You could be using an attendance technology. So CourseKey offers, attendance technology. That's one of our applications. A system that automates attendance collection, whether you're an externship or you're in a classroom or whether you're online, whatever it may be. You could be using retention technologies. CourseKey also offers this application, something that looks at all your different systems and helps you identify students that are struggling or falling off the path that you can then go intervene with and ensure that they get through to graduation and they don't drop, right? A lot of our cosmetology clients have a point of sale system, right? So that's another piece that you could be using. Adaptive learning, you can see I continue to go on here. Externship software, tutoring software, test prep software. It's overwhelming. There's so many different things. And then you even have curriculum providers like a McGraw-Hill, like a Cengage, potentially, like a My Lady, like a Pivot Point. All these different, offerings. So the scary thing is there's so much noise, there's so many solutions, there's so many tools that a lot of clients just say, where do I begin? Like, I think I need it. I know I need an SIS. I know I need an LMS. Do I need these other things? Like, what should I actually be leveraging at my institution? What's most important? What's mission critical? What's going to deliver a real ROI for us, right? These are all questions we ask ourselves every single day. Am I going to look crazy bringing this new thing, another thing that students have to log into, that teachers have to log into, to management? Or am I overwhelming my staff with all these different solutions? Like, there's a lot of things on that screen, right? And there's a lot of providers in each of those boxes. So it's overwhelming, and we totally understand that. To make it even more challenging, COVID has accelerated the need for technology, right? A lot of things that we could have gotten away with historically by just leveraging a pen and paper process or some sort of manual process, we didn't need a solution for. A lot of that has gone away because kind of remote, distance, blended, that becomes challenging, right? So on top of all those boxes I showed in the overwhelming picture of with the megaphone, now it's magnified because of COVID, so it creates a whole new challenge. And then the unfortunate reality, and this is what I really want to dig into here, is a question that you're probably asking yourself all the time, which is, are all these systems actually integrated? You may have one of those, you may have two, you may have 10, right? It just depends on your school and your guys's kind of mentality when it comes to technology. But the big question you have to ask yourselves are all these connected? And if they are, right, every vendor comes in and says, yeah, we're integrated, blah, blah, blah. but are they actually integrated well? What we found, and it goes back to what I said initially about being venture, have one integration engineer, right? So it's very difficult to build integrations to a bunch of different systems. So the question you have to ask is like, are they integrated well? And that's hard because a lot of schools don't necessarily have the expertise to understand if they're integrated well. We have a big belief on integration at our secret sauce, and we product engineering team just to do this, and we're going to explain why we're very bullish on integration. So that's a very important question you need to ask ourselves, because there is no plan today for our space. There's no single access point to access all those applications like you have on your iPhone, right? Like Microsoft Suite delivers, like the Google Suite delivers, like you have on your Android phone, whatever it is. So these are very important that you need in your institution. We had a quick commercial break there, so we're back. So I was getting into my second question here that's really important for you to ask yourself and your institution is, are all of our applications actually built for us? So what do I mean by that? In the career education space, and the reason why CourseKey actually was born was that we identified that all these systems and all these education technology tools are actually not really built for trade schools. They don't really understand the career ed market, right? They're actually built for traditional colleges, traditional institutions, like a big state school, like a San Diego State University or a Louisiana State University. And they've kind of, they focus there on these big traditional colleges. And then, you know, our sector and our school, because they don't have a choice, are really trying to shoehorn those in, right? So, and the learning experience is so much different at a traditional school versus a career school, right? Career school, we're very much more hands-on, right? We're very much more experiential. We're cutting hair. We're in a hospital, right? We're actually shadowing a fellow nurse. You know, we're in the engine of a car. So it's night and day versus a traditional college where you're sitting in a classroom, right? You're just listening to a lecture, you're taking a quiz, you're taking a test, you're getting a grade. It's night and day. So the whole purpose of CourseKey beginning was realizing this unfortunate reality of we're trying to shoehorn these existing systems and software solutions into our school because we don't really have a choice, right? And so there's all these different workarounds that become you know, problematic because of that. So that's the second question you have to ask yourself is like, are my systems actually made for me, or are they focused on an external market or area, right? And that's something that we really pride ourselves on, is being the solution and the offering for trade schools. Everything we build is for trade schools, career schools, vocational schools, whatever, you know, word you're using. And then the third question you need to be asking yourself is there a singular destination for our tech stack, right? I showed all those different charts that represented different technology kind of buckets that you're likely leveraging certain systems or certain applications from. And this is a scary reality is we don't even see that anywhere, that there's a singular destination, right? You have people going in to this system, different login over here, different login over there. How do we kind of centralize that piece, right? So I hope I've not scared anyone by any means, but it is, you know, a challenging reality because we have not seen a platform be created in the career education space, whereas in most spaces today, there already is a platform. There's one kind of leading provider that you can go to that then opens up an ecosystem of other tools, right? Salesforce in other markets is an example of that, right? I talked about, you know, your iPhone in a consumer example. So there's really no platform that we've seen for career education, unlike most industries. And that's why you feel the pain that you do. You feel this pain of all these different systems, of all these different logins for your students, for your instructors, for your staff, right? Of all these systems not talking to each other and connecting. Can you imagine if on your iPhone, you had to basically, there were no applications. You had to, you know, use your web browser to go over here and install this thing, and go over here and install this other thing. And then you had to integrate all these different applications just so that they could be on your homepage. Like you wouldn't accept that, right? So why are we accepting that reality in the career education space? And so at CourseKey, we've seen this the last few years as we built our own applications, just like every other vendor is an application today. And we said, how can we create one centralized place that people can go to where everything is integrated, everything is connected, everything is built for you as a trade school, and all the data is in a singular location where you can go to understand what's actually happening, right? And that's the purpose of the career education platform, and that's what we're on a mission to solve, for these schools, because you don't deserve to have to do what you're doing, right? Your students, your instructors don't deserve to have to do what you're doing, and it's not fair because there's no company or business that's providing that, and so you're experiencing that limitation, unfortunately. And so we're going to set out to solve that, and we have set out to solve that. Okay. So let me give you an example of the platform. So the platform is our new, iOS, like on your iPhone. It's your new Microsoft Office, right? It's your new Google Suite, whatever example you want to use. And it's our singular destination to basically access an ecosystem is how we're thinking about it. And today we have our own applications, and a lot of people know us for these applications. And so you'll be able to access our applications through the platform, but you're going to be able to access other applications through the platform too, which we're excited about. And that's something that we're going to continue to build towards over the next few years. So our first application that you can access is attendance. So CourseKey is the leading provider of attendance technology. Work with hundreds of schools to automate attendance, and we work in any environment. So a lot of attendance technologies today, point of in cosmetology, there you have the thumb readers. They don't translate to online. In allied health, you maybe have an externship solution like a Tradexis. It only works in externship. We've created the first solution that kind of works across all your different learning environments: online, in-person, externship, clinical lab, whatever. We can cover that for you. The second application that we offer is Engage. We give you the ability to digitize existing paper documents. Maybe you're doing evaluations on pen and paper. You can basically digitize all those, centralize them, and be able to assess students, just via your own phone, tablet, laptop, whatever it may be. And then third, we basically give you a centralized kind of God view where you can understand how people are progressing, how are they, if they're on track or not, right? So this is our retention application, which shows you a bunch of different dashboards and reports of how people are trending from an attendance standpoint, how people are trending from an engagement standpoint. Okay, and then finally is our compliance solution, where you can, we do a lot of different things under our compliance application. We can check people for COVID if they have any symptoms they're exhibiting before they show up to campus. We can give you a centralized profile where all the different data from attendance is centrally located, or engagement centrally located. So when you have an audit or you have an accreditor come through, you can see that. So these are our 4 applications. Now remember, I'm talking about the platform today. So the platform is a central place where you go to access one application if you want to use that by CourseKey, 2 up to 4 different applications that CourseKey builds. But more importantly, you can go and look at over time. This is vision. Other applications. Maybe it's your student information system. Maybe it's your learning management system, your CRM, your financial aid solutions, all those different tools we talked about. So it's our goal to basically build this over time, where you have the platform, you have applications that you can access that are made by us, but you have applications that are absolutely critical to your organization. Maybe it's your campus management solution, maybe it's your FAME solution that you can then go through and access as well. And everything is connected. All of the data actually lives together. So how we've started this process is we're starting with the 2 most important solutions that our customers have told us, right? And that's your student information system, and that's your learning management system. So our goal is to basically connect your student information system and your learning management system, and if you choose any applications that CourseKey has actually built, right? So imagine a world where those 2 systems are actually connected. They're talking. You have accurate data and understanding of what's going on. You're not dependent on either no integration or maybe a meh integration. Okay. So enough talk, Luke. Like actually show us the proof and talk through the impact that this can have for our business. So I want to give you real world examples that you can take home today. And, we're happy to kind of show you this, and actually you come to us and say, hey, we're using this SIS and this LMS. How can you make those two talk to each other and work so that we're operating as efficiently as possible? So this is an example of a client that has Canvas as their learning management system and has campus management as their student information system, okay? And then they're using CourseKey to basically pull those two together, and they're also using our attendance application as well. So I'm going to give you just an example of how we're using our platform, as well as the CourseKey app, as well as the Canvas app and the campus management app, to create kind of a centralized place for you to understand your information and data and what's actually happening at your school. So this is an example of after we've connected the three, the CourseKey platform, where you can go in and actually see data that's critical and important to you, that's either spread across a bunch of different tools. In this case, pre-CourseKey, some of it was in CourseKey, some of it was in Canvas, some of it was in campus management. So what we've done in this scenario is we've actually automatically pulled all of the data for this student from Canvas for their asynchronous activities. So what do I mean by that? Well, in this example, this school is a blended school, right? Meaning they have a course where there's asynchronous learning, where a student's going into Canvas and they're completing quizzes and they're completing tests and they're completing readings and activities. And then on the other side, they have synchronous, right? Where they're face-to-face, they're in a lab setting, or they're in a classroom setting where it's live, it's happening with a live class and a live teacher. And that's their synchronous, and they're using CourseKey to automatically collect the synchronous attendance. And so what we've done is we pulled those two together. So our system is automatically reading Canvas and pulling out, okay, this activity is worth this amount of time. This quiz is worth this amount of time. This test is worth this amount of time. And then we're automatically pulling out from the CourseKey attendance application, okay, this student checked in from this time to this time at their clinical, from this time to this time at their classroom, from this time to this time at their externship. And we're harnessing that and pulling it into one place. And so this is the dashboard that's actually showing you all that data and the progression for that student. So you can see here they've gotten 30 hours of their 60 hours in this example. They've gotten 19 hours of synchronous time that was through the CourseKey attendance app. They've gotten 1 hour of makeup time, which was through the CourseKey attendance app. And they've gotten 10 hours of asynchronous time from Canvas, right? So we're pulling all this stuff from all these different disparate applications in this one example, and we're showing you how much synchronous time do they have, how much asynchronous time do they have, what's their total time awarded, okay? This is a question that accreditors are asking right now and is becoming so important with the Biden administration coming in, is how much time are your students spending in online? How much time are they spending in person? I would bet my shirt that the tracking of this is happening in multiple different systems, and it's a manual process, and that's very scary from a regulatory standpoint, okay? So again, why are we creating a platform? So we can pull data from all these different systems and applications and give you access in one centralized place so you can understand what's going on at your business, okay? And that's crucial. So I can keep going forward, and this is just, again, showing some of the dashboards and capabilities that you'd see for this particular student. Below, you can actually drill into specific attendance days or activities that were captured. So you can see here was when synchronous time was earned, they earned 4 hours here. In another application, the CourseKey attendance app, here they earned 2 hours of asynchronous time in Canvas. We pulled that in to show that, right? So this is just a real world example of how we're leveraging the platform to pull together, excuse me, I got out of presenter mode here, multiple very important data points. So let's go into the next kind of real world example here, and kind of keep trucking forward. This is a cosmetology client that's using Fame, right? And as their student information system. And then they're using CourseKey applications as well. And so I want to talk through how we've done this. So in FAME, they were tracking student progress based on activity. So how many practical operations did I complete? How many theory hours have I completed? Right. So this is just a quick screenshot of how, again, we're pulling this from another application, from two applications, from the course key engagement app and from the SIS FAME application, right? And we're able to kind of centralize all this information and put it in one place so that you can go and understand what's actually happening, how people are progressing, right? Another example of pulling data from two different systems and giving you the visualization that you need, okay? So I wanted to show two real world examples of how this is actually coming into fruition with clients and how you can kind of start charting the path and thinking through, how do I ensure all the data gets to one centralized place so that we can make the right decisions and that it's not an administrative process where I'm looking at 19 different applications and I'm manually keying that into one centralized place. So our goal and vision for this over time, we talked about how we're starting with basically pulling in student information data and pulling in learning management system data. And over time, we'll evolve to pull in data from all your different systems that you're leveraging so that it can connect and talk to other applications. So again, you can have kind of a one-stop shop to understand your business and understand your KPIs and all these important things that you're tracking. So our goal is that every software tool that you're using is going to be integrated and connected. And so again, I mentioned we've raised over $20 million. We have a whole integration team that's working on connecting as many software tools as possible. If we're not connecting to it, we'll work on it and we'll build it, as fast as we can. The next piece is, how do we enable you to analyze data from all these different systems in a singular place, right? So I showed you how we're doing that with Canvas, Campus, and then a course key attendance app. We've taken those three applications. We've showed you exactly what's happening in one place. And then the other big point is we want to make sure that the data that we're pulling from and the applications we pull from are actually built for career education providers. I get so frustrated that our space has been forced to leverage software that's not built for them, that's built for a traditional college. And so our focus is, how do we, if you're using a system that's built for a traditional college, that's okay, but how do we pull data and information out of that and then present it in a way that actually matters to you, right? Traditional colleges don't care about attendance. They don't care about clock hour tracking. In career education, that's very important, right? We leverage time and attendance data to be able to draw down Title IV funds. So being able to pull information from those systems that and present it in a way that it actually matters to a career education provider, career education school, is our goal and vision for this product. We only build product for this space, okay? So again, like vision here over time is how we envision is you access, course keys, career education platform, and there's a singular place. And then that's where you can then look at and understand data from a wide variety. So we're starting with the student information and learning management system, but over time, we'll be able to ideally incorporate all your different technologies and offerings so you can see what's going on, in one spot, and all the data is connected and talking to each other. Just like your iPhone, you go to your iPhone and you're able to access apps that are created by Apple and then apps that are not created by Apple, but that are very important to you. So we're trying to take on the same approach here with the Course Key platform. And you can leverage applications that are built by Course Key, or you can leverage applications that are built by third parties, but it's a singular destination, right? And it's organized. You don't have all the squares and dots that we had, going into the call. So that's the webinar. Wasn't planning on taking the full 60. We hope that you understand and kind of appreciate this path that we're pushing down towards, and we're pushing down this path because customers have told us to do so, and they've really kind of pounded the table and said we need a platform, we need one central place where we can understand SIS data, LMS data, all this thing. So like I said, we're starting with your SIS and LMS today. We're starting with attendance, the attendance application with Course Key, and pulling in attendance information from all three of these systems into one place. So We'd love to show you, we'd love to have the opportunity to show you how it could work for your school. So we encourage you to reach out and book a demo. Go to CourseKey.com. There's a form right at the bottom of the homepage that you can fill out. And we're happy to kind of walk you through what this would look like today, and then what it'll also look like tomorrow as we tap into more and more third-party applications and build our own applications. So with that, I will pause. I will take a breath because I need one. And we can allow some time for some Q&A.
All right, thanks, Luke, for that presentation. And thanks to our audience members who have submitted questions already. We have a handful here ready for you. So take that breath, Luke, and then we're throwing questions right back at you. This is the time to submit any other questions that you guys have. So definitely don't hold back and let us know what your questions are. But I'll start with the ones that we've already received. The first one says, does CourseKey generate LDA reports?
Yeah, so great question. So LDA reports, last day of attendance, are stored within the student information system, right? And that's where most clients are basically running those reports and being able to do a return to the Title IV if needed, or draw down on funds, right? So at CourseKey, what we're doing is two things. One is we push all the data into that student information system in real time so that your LDA reports are actually accurate. So if you're not using an attendance technology that's real time, then it's likely that those LDA reports are inaccurate or they're behind. You're not getting all the data that you need within those reports instantaneously in real time from when that attendance is actually happening. So we do not have LDA within our system, but what we do is we ensure that the LDA data that you're looking at within your student information system is timely and accurate. Now, what we do offer is we're going to show you what we call is an LRA, which is a last record of attendance. And that's just going to give you a slightly different look at it. And we do that just because we are not a financial aid clearinghouse. There's a lot of different rules and regs that go into that if we choose to actually show an LDA. So we're giving the SIS the necessary data, but also giving you a quick viewpoint within our system if you so choose.
Great, thank you. The next question we have here says, we have students completing externship hours each week. Does the Attend app work for externship sites?
Yes, so our Attend application actually automatically collects attendance at externship sites. So we use geofencing technology actually a whole externship site management system where you can go in and set up geofences at all your different externships. And a geofence is just it's a virtual fence where around a hospital or externship site where a student actually, once they enter that virtual fence, can check in, and we ensure that they're actually there. So we can basically automatically pull the attendance information for externship sites with our attendance application.
Gotcha. The next question here says, you mentioned tracking COVID symptoms. Can you explain how that works?
Yeah, sure. So we through our compliance module, we have the ability to offer a health tracker, and what that entails is basically any student, faculty, or staff fills out a survey on their device. It's a survey from the government that's government approved, and basically when they fill that out, they get distributed a green or a red card. Okay, and a green card basically shows that they have no COVID-related symptoms, and they've self-reported that. And when they show up on campus, they show their phone with a green card on it so that they can access. That green card is only active for 24 hours. So it's only active through midnight of the day that they took it. So by the next day they show up, they'll have to retake the survey. If they get a red card, it means that they may be exhibiting COVID symptoms. We automatically send an alert email to whoever the school deems as kind of the overseer or the tracker of this, to ensure that that student, staff, or faculty does not indeed show up to campus.
Gotcha. Next question that we have here is, how often can staff access the dashboards?
Yeah, so the dashboards are up and running 24/7. They're available whenever you want to go in. A lot of our clients have them up all day long, in the background where they can look and just quickly do a check-in. The whole purpose of the dashboards is to collect real-time information and data that's important to you and your school, right? So whether that's retention data, understanding how people are progressing, and more specifically who's struggling, that's available in real time. And then we're also showing you, data like I talked about. Maybe it's data that we're pulling from Canvas and Nexus to give you a visualization, something again that's important to you. So they're available 24/7. You can go in there, you can run reports, you can monitor things, you name it.
All right. We have one more question here. I just want to give the audience another chance to submit any last minute questions. We're happy to answer them. All right, Luke, the question is, does CourseKey integrate with any SIS?
Yeah, so we integrate with almost all the major SISs. So we integrate with campus management, we integrate with Fame, we integrate with D2L or Brightspace. All the major systems we likely integrate. If we don't integrate, we'll build it, and we'll build it quickly.
Cool, thank you. Looks like that is the extent of the questions that were submitted. I guess we can go ahead and wrap it up.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you so much for hopping on. I hope this was a good use of your time, and you can start kind of asking yourself and having your institution ask yourself some of the hard questions, about integration and different applications, different software services that we're using, and use this as a resource. And we have really valuable content. When I use this as a resource, it doesn't mean you have to buy anything from us. We're really trying to become a place where you can go to find good tips and tricks, videos that may be helpful or offer insight, best practices, you name it. So use this as a resource. Let us know if we can help in any which way. We'll be around for kind of the long haul here, and really trying to support career schools, continue to grow and thrive. So I appreciate your time. Please reach out to us, book a demo if you'd like at our website, CourseKey.com. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Luke.